Yo, bro, I'm gonna show you a high protein breakfast if you are bulking as a vegetarian. This is gonna work really well for you because it's so easy to make and it's gonna give you a lot of calories and a lot of protein. Why won't it switch? Oh. It's perfect if you're vegetarian. As vegetarians, it's really hard to get protein in, and it's pretty hard to also get calories in, other than if you're Indian like me, you're gonna get a lot of calories through carbs, and that's not the best thing to do because we need more protein. We need a balanced diet, not a carb diet like if you're how the Indian diet typically is. If you're on a rush, this is also pretty good because it requires like 4 or 5 minutes to actually make, less than that, and it takes more time to eat the food than it does to make the food. And if it's also really good if you have no cooking skills whatsoever, because if you're like me and you basically live off your mother and you have no cooking skills, mommy makes everything. This is gonna be perfect because this requires literally no skill. If you can't make this, there's like almost no hope for you, man. What you're gonna need: bread, a toaster, peanut butter, protein powder, and milk. That's literally it. It's literally you're just making peanut butter and toast. If you're like me, you probably have never counted actually how many calories and how much protein is actually in this meal. I have never done it before in my life until just around a month ago, and I was pretty surprised to see the numbers. So, click to add title? Yeah, don't add title. What you're gonna do is get your bread. 4 pieces of bread is usually what I like to eat. That's what I'm going to base these numbers off to. Get 4 pieces of bread, pop them in the toaster, adjust the toaster setting, mouse, adjust the toaster setting to however you want it, like how much you want it cooked. I typically like mine cooked this much. It's just easier to eat, a lot less crumbs. You see crumbs right here, right now, anyways. But there's a lot less crumbs this way. If you toast it a lot more, there's gonna be way more crumbs, and it's really annoying to clean up. It doesn't really affect the taste too much to me. I don't really care. I actually like bread looking like this compared to like crispy bread. Crispy bread is nice, but this just makes too much of a mess, and I don't want to do that. You get 4 pieces of bread, pop them in the toaster, get your setting going, and then while it is cooking in the toaster, get your protein shaker cup, get some milk, and get your protein powder, mix it into the cup, shake it well, and by that time, your bread is probably already finished. It probably popped out of the toaster. Get your peanut butter, get your butter knife, slap that peanut butter on there, and then eat. That's literally it. This peanut butter, it's going to take you quite a bit to eat. It's going to take quite a bit of time to eat. It takes me normally like 15 minutes because it's just so chewy. It's a little dry. I would recommend if you want to speed it up, not to chug your protein powder or your protein shake, to actually take a bite of your sandwich or however you want to eat it. Take a bite of your toast and take a sip of your protein shake. That will lubricate your mouth or whatever. It's going to make the peanut butter break down a little faster. It's going to take a little time off how long it's going to eat, which is nice. If you're in a rush, it's nice. If you really don't have time, you can always just pack this and go. If you eat in the car, your car is probably going to be a mess. I wouldn't recommend it. Why? Okay. Counting numbers. This is what really surprised me whenever I first tried this, or when I first counted the numbers. On this side, on the top, is my bread that I use. I use whole wheat bread from Whole Foods. It's just a little healthier. It's not too much, it's not very expensive. It's around the same price of the bread I normally get, anyways, so whatever. Uh, and this peanut butter on the bottom is Jif, or Yif, or I don't know how you say it. I call it Jif. It's just Jif, their natural creamy peanut butter. I like creamy. If you like crunchy, I think it's a little more protein, but I don't like crunchy that much. I think creamy is just better. Also, a little easier to eat. Calories. just in these two. Bread. I have 4 slices of bread. Each slice of bread has 100 calories, so 4 times 100 is 400 calories. Peanut butter. I like a lot of peanut butter. Like, I am a peanut butter fiend. So I usually put a whole, I actually don't know how much it is, but I'm assuming it's a tablespoon of peanut butter per slice of toast. So if you do the math on the peanut butter label, it actually has the calories for every 2 tablespoons. So be careful when you read it. Make sure to do your numbers right if you're counting your own peanut butter. So every 2 tablespoons is 190. So if I'm getting 4 pieces of bread, it's actually 2 servings. So that's going to be 380 calories. Add those up. That's 780 calories alone just off the bread and peanut butter. Protein for just these two. Every slice of bread, I probably cannot see it, but it says 5 grams for this Whole Foods whole wheat bread. So I have 4 slices. 5 times 4 is 20. That's 20 grams just in the bread alone, which is way more than I would ever expected. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is known to be a protein dense food and calorie dense food. It's like a bulker's choice, typical bulker's food. 7 grams for every 2 tablespoons times 4 tablespoons. That's 14 grams of protein just from the peanut butter alone. So 20 plus 14, that's 34 grams of protein just for your peanut butter and your bread, which is a lot, which is a great amount. Calories from protein powder on the top here and milk on the bottom here. Milk is just from Kroger. The protein powder I use is Dymatize ISO 100 Cocoa Pebbles. I think it just tastes the best. It tastes the best. I also really hate foam. It just honestly almost makes me want to vomit, but I haven't done it yet, thankfully. I don't like it. And Dymatize typically mixes very well. I have noticed that when you mix Dymatize and you shake it up in the cup, there's actually a lot of foam. There's around, if you put 8 ounces, it's going to look like another 8 ounces just formed in the cup. It obviously didn't. It's foam. That foam usually subsides within like 5 minutes, which is awesome. I just let the drink sit there for a little bit and the foam just goes away. Well, back to calories. Protein powder, I just put 1 scoop. So that's 120 calories. Whole milk, I like to have more milk than what the protein powder recommends. The protein powder recommends 6 ounces for every scoop. I think that's way too little milk or water or whatever you want. So I actually get 10 ounces. 8 ounces is pretty good. 10 ounces, I think it's a little better. If you do the math, 188 calories in the milk. 120 plus 188, that's 308 calories just from the protein powder and the milk, which is not too much, but protein powder is typically pretty low. If you want more calories from a powdered source, mass gainer is the way to go, but mass gainer just sucks. Don't recommend it. Protein from these two. Protein powder, it's protein powder, so it's going to have a lot for every calorie. So 25 grams per scoop, 1 scoop, 25 grams of protein right there. Whole milk, 8 ounces, or 8 grams for every 8 ounces. I have 10 grams, so that's 10, or I have 8 ounces of milk, so that is 10 grams of protein just from the milk. 25 plus 10, 35 grams of protein just from protein powder and milk, just from your drink. Total calories 780 calories plus 308 calories, 1,090 calories. That is wild just for a 4 minute breakfast. Whenever I first calculated this number, I was not expecting to see 1,090 calories. Close, basically 1,100 calories. That's what I would count it as. I don't. It's 10 calories, bro. It's just count it as 1,100. 1,100 calories just from a breakfast that takes like no effort to cook. Insane. It's really good. It's helping me gain weight finally. Again, if you want to stay consistent on a bulk and you need a food that really helps with um, getting your numbers up in calories, this is definitely going to be it. If you're vegetarian, if you eat meat, you're gonna have more options. I cannot recommend anything except I don't know, like chicken or something. I don't know. I don't eat meat, so I can't really recommend anything. Protein, 69 grams of protein, man. If you asked me like 2 months ago how much protein would be in this meal, I would guess like 40 or 50, not 50. I would guess like 40. Guess closer to 40, and that's still including the protein powder from the protein shake that we made. 69 grams of protein. That is insane for a vegetarian. 69 grams, that's around like half of what I need throughout the whole day. So it gets a lot of done, a lot of my needs done out of the way. This picture on the side, mind blown. That's what your mind is probably blown. My mind is blown. Anyways, that's the meal. That's about it. Get up, get after it, man. The meal is easy.